President Trump has recently put Chicago under a microscope. One of his targets, Illinois' decision to eliminate cash bail.
That law took effect 2 years ago, and now the White House is threatening to cut some funding if the state doesn't get rid of it.
Tonight, investigator Megan DeMar talks to shareholders to find out what's working and what's not.
Do you worry about this executive order and how it might impact the future of detention here?
I worry about anything that would jeopardize the funding that we desperately need.
This is what Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke is concerned about.
They thought it was discriminatory to make people put up money because they just killed 3 people lying on a street.
While that particular scenario never happened here, Illinois' end to cash bail has recently become one of President Trump's favorite targets.
We're going to end that in Chicago. We're going to change the statute.
But the federal government can't change state law.
You know, this is our basic civics lesson.
So instead, the president instructed the Attorney General of the United States to identify and potentially cut funding to states like Illinois and other local governments that no longer use cash bail.
And just saying, I don't like that law, change it, or I'm going to starve your citizens of the things they need. I mean, is there a better definition of tyranny?
Cook County Chief Public Defender Sharon Mitchell Jr.
This idea that money was his panacea and created better outcomes is totally false.
Is also concerned about President Trump's attacks on Illinois' detention system. He and the Cook County State's Attorney sit on opposite sides of the courtroom, but they agree on this.
The Trump administration called cashless bail a driver of government-backed crime sprees. What do you say to that?
I don't think it's reflected in the statistics.
Trump is completely wrong about this.
Are defendants on pretrial release really going on crime sprees? We started looking into several sets of data and discovered some answers in the numbers. When it comes to charges against the 40,000 violent and nonviolent defendants on pretrial release during the 2 years, 82% had no new charges. 17% faced new nonviolent charges for drugs, weapons, and property crimes, and 1% had new charges for violent crimes like murder, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault.
We discovered that number is lower than before cash bail was eliminated. According to this 2020 Loyola University report, 3% of defendants on pretrial release were charged with a new violent crime in the years before and after previous bail reforms took effect in 2017.
I see this as a failure for one of our basic tenets, which is to protect the health and safety and welfare of our constituents.
Republican Illinois State Representative Martin McLaughlin says any defendants committing violent crimes on pretrial release proves the system isn't working.
In the last 8 months in Cook County, in Chicago particularly, there's been 8 pretrial releases that have reoffended and are accused of murder. That is a capital crime.
He's referring to cases like this one, where a woman was shot and killed in June in a domestic violence incident. The accused offender was on pretrial release at the time for drug possession and resisting police a few months earlier. In both of those cases, prosecutors asked for detention, but a judge ordered him released instead. The Cook County State's Attorney agrees this is exactly what they don't want to happen, but notes it's a tiny fraction of defendants who are out awaiting trial who commit new violent crimes.
If only 1% of those are reoffending if they're out pretrial, that's a number I can live with. Higher than that, I can't live with. And that would mean there's a systemic failure.
She takes a hard stance on murder and attempted murder suspects, telling me she has instructed her state's attorneys to file for detention every single time. Over the last 2 years, detention was requested 95% of the time for murder, attempted murder, and homicide cases, and granted about 92% of the time.
We would probably argue that 95% number is a little bit high because, again, someone can be accused of murder and they may have not done it. Maybe the evidence isn't strong. Maybe they're an accused accomplice.
O'Neill Burke also doesn't think electronic monitoring is good enough, even though 135 suspects charged with murder or attempted murder are currently on it.
If you're putting a violent offender on electronic monitoring, we believe that you are endangering the public by doing so.
Meanwhile, Representative McLaughlin says the statistics showing violent crime is down since the switch don't capture the safety issues his constituents continue to feel.
To me, you can say that it's less dangerous, but it's like saying you have 106-degree fever. Now it's just 105. It's still fatal and it's deadly for far too many residents of Cook County.
And this 2023 Loyola report looked at Harris County, Texas, where Houston is, Philadelphia, and New Jersey, and also found no significant increase in violent crimes in the year before and the year after bail reforms took effect there. So what does Cook County's top prosecutor think?
Has the system made Illinois safer?
It's working. The city is safer today than it was a year ago. The county is safer today than it was a year ago, and the system is working.
Megan DeMar, CBS News Chicago investigators.